Hello and welcome to the School Board Report for November. I'm Zoe Crespo and joining me today is board member John Landers.
Thanks, Zoe. Glad to be back.
I know that the board had 2 levy renewals this November. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So yes, we had 2 renewals on the ballot. One passed and one didn't. The one that didn't was what's called a continuous levy, which means that it would stay on our books permanently. That lost by about 100 votes. Part of our logic, was to alleviate voter fatigue and also allows a stronger base in terms of if the district tries to borrow money, which would be viable in a scenario like if we were to build a new 4 through 6 building or a new 7-8 building or something like that. So really last night our meeting at the high school was our first opportunity as a board to discuss that. I think we're still evaluating the data. We want to understand where it was positive in the district, where it was maybe negative in terms of the school districts, in terms of some of the votes. We're very, very thankful to our community for supporting the renewal, and I think we hear the feedback from the community in terms of the other one. One of the recommendations, that Board President Davis made last night at our meeting is to kind of re-engage our levy committee, which we've used at times in the past. So we'll be looking for, students, teachers, parents, families, probably even grandparents, to potentially join that levy as we work to kind of get their feedback as well as what we do in the future. And I think one thing that's important to note, that we as the board and with our treasurer and our superintendent probably look at our upcoming levy schedule maybe 2 or 3 times a year, because this levy in effect doesn't really take into effect until like fiscal year 27. So it's not like it's a direct impact on today's school budget, but we like to try to put those early because just in case it fails, it does give us an opportunity to re-engage the community and tell our story on why this levy is important.
So we are actually inside the Spartan Armory and it is being brought back this year.
Yeah, I think it's a cool story. I think maybe when I was in high school, which we won't say the year, I think it might have been selling school supplies, but I know it's been used for business and entrepreneurship, even really just for storage and for snack sales. And now it's a kind of a spirit wear shop, which I think is something we desperately needed. It's all about trying to build our culture, share our school colors, and generate school pride. I know cross country and track coach John Phillips oversees it. I know it's open on some Fridays during lunch, and we want to also have it open and available to the community and the public. So we know we have some choir and orchestra concerts coming up on December 10th and 17th. That will be open and available to the public, as well as on December 16th and 19th, which are during boys' home basketball games. So I think there's some pretty cool gear here that I may need to get or, kind of get for some holiday presents for my brothers. So, but I think quality and prices are very good. The proceeds go to the boys cross country program. And I think they take, I think cash and Venmo at least, and maybe some other forms. So, and checks. So really excited to kind of see how this generates school spirit. And we're happy that it's open to the community at select times as well.
So speaking of cross country, the boys and girls teams were recognized last night at the board meeting, among other sports. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. I think that's always one of the fun parts we get to do at every board meeting. And I think both our boys and girls cross country teams at the high school have had really great histories of success, and they're continuing to do it. Both of our boys and girls high school teams qualified to state this year. I want to say that the girls maybe finished 9th as a team and had an all-Ohioan in Olivia Brady, who's a junior, who's had an amazing year. And the boys, it was their 2nd consecutive trip. And Jacob Turek also made all-Ohio status. So really amazing to both of them individually, but also collectively as a team. For the girls as a team, I think it was the first time since 1987 that they qualified for the team. So to be able to do that, and I know they're really bringing back a strong core. So thanks to our teams and Coach DeDorcas and Coach Phillips. We also had the opportunity to honor the 7th and 8th grade teams from Glenwood, both on the girls and boys side, that were both AAC champs and really had a great season both individually and collectively. And I think Coach Phillips said it best at the board meeting that night. That's the team's future. So I think he was really happy to have those students there, because those are the kids that are going to be freshmen and sophomores and running here in a few years, and hoping continuing that tradition of going to state. And we also honored the 7th grade Maroon AAC volleyball team from Glenwood, who were AAC champs in competitive kind of championship match with Canfield. So great seasons for those. And now we're already like deep in the midst of winter sports.
So as you may have noticed, we have got a brand new video board. It's been used for volleyball game. It's going to be used for upcoming basketball games. How did we acquire this video board?
Sure. So we're very thankful to have a really strong partnership with our Boardman Boosters group, which has done so much at the stadium. One of the projects they wanted to accomplish this year was the new video board in the gym, as well as the 2 new scoreboards that are in the gym. So those are really kind of provided by kind of continuing funding that they bring in from year to year through like stadium sponsorships and scoreboard sponsorships. So it's a 16 by 10 video board by Watchfire. 2 scoreboards, and I think we're really excited, the energy it brings to our winter athletic seasons, and I know the BSCN crew is excited to kind of have kind of a new tool and gadget to play with during the season.
And then is there anything you'd like to add before we end today?
Sure, just really wanted to give Mr. Kale and the entire cast and crew and Pit Orchestra of Frozen a huge shout out. I went last Thursday and there was just a lot of energy and excitement, and I thought the cast and crew did an amazing job. I was really cool seeing the young kids and the elementary school students and kind of the Frozen costumes. So, and then just I think it's Kate and Caitlin who were the leads of Elsa and Anna, just did an amazing job. And then lastly, Mr. Frida, who's been a board member for 8 years, decided not to run again. So he's going into his last meeting in December. So we really thank him for his service and thank his wife, Marie, and his boys who went through the district. And then looking forward to welcome Mr. Murray, who's father of daughters that have gone through the district, who will start his term in January.
So that's going to be all for us today. Thank you, Mr. Landers, for joining us. I'm Zoe Crespo with your school board report for November. Thank you, Spartans.